welcome episode number 197? Yes. Of the TEW 2 Challenge Run. This is going to be my night. No, it's not. It's always this way round. I never say Friday Night SmackDown for Monday Night Raw. I always say it's going to be Monday Night Raw when it's on SmackDown. This is going to be Friday Night SmackDown for week 3 of November 2021. And we have a WWE Championship match between Roman Reigns and Big E. We have another triple threat to determine the 4th member of Team SmackDown. We have the final singles match to determine the women's member of Team SmackDown. We've got the Toxic Attraction versus Bianca, Kelsey Cook and Sonya Deville 6-woman tag team match. And yeah, without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We start with an earlier today sort of thing. Pierce and RJ City are in their office. And he's like, you know, Pierce? He's like, what? They're like, I feel like with all this mayhem here, we should invite NXT and Raw here next week. And Pierce's like, well, why would I do that? Why would I bring the enemy into this building 2 days before Survivor Series? It's like, well, we need to sort of get everything sorted out, you know? You still haven't told them what they're even fighting for at Survivor Series. And Pierce's like, fine, I mean, you make a good point. So, I guess we'll invite them over. Every single person in the WWE roster is welcome to come to SmackDown next week. I'm sure that won't be chaos at all. And RJ taps him on the shoulder. He's like, it's okay, bro. I got this under control. And Pierce's like, you better. It's like, oh, don't worry. I do. And he gives that shit-eating grin. Whoa. Why are SmackDown's matches so much better than Raw's? And why did this do so good? In the 4th triple threat match to determine the 4th member of Team SmackDown, Buddy Murphy defeats Matt Riddle and Bobby Roode. He pins Bobby Roode with the Murphy's Law in 9:38 to cement him as member number 4 even of Team SmackDown, with Randy Orton, Kevin Owens and Cesaro along with Buddy Murphy. 91 for Riddle? Riddle did the best in this? Murphy got an 88 and an 86 for Roode. Odd. Why did Riddle do the best? He's got the least popularity. Is he really that good in ring in this game? Anyway, we then get 24/7 Island shenanigans. Humberto has the belt, and he's on Luchasaurus' shoulders again. A familiar scene of a member of Path of the Dragon on Luchasaurus' shoulders fighting off everybody. Truth tries to pull him down, he can't quite reach him. And then Grand Metalik does a sunset flip powerbomb off a beach house to plant Humberto onto the floor and get the win, and he wins the championship and he runs off with the belt. We then get a quick backstage segment. Anna Jay is chatting with Kelsey Cook because Kelsey's teaming with not anyone else from Team NXT, but she's teaming with Bianca and Sonya from last week when Toxic Attraction beat them up. So there's 2 members of Team SmackDown and a member of Team NXT against 2 members of Team NXT and their friend who got screwed out of a spot on Team NXT. And she's like, you know, Kelsey, I worry about you because you're entering enemy lines, and you're on this team with Bianca, and she's the captain of Team SmackDown. I know Grace, our captain, Grace Parker, Jordan Grace, she wants us all fighting and ready to go, so try not to get in over your head today. And she's like, Anna, what do you take me for? I'm not going to do that. And then Bianca walks in like, oh, girl, listen here. As the captain of Team SmackDown and the captain of this team tonight, you need to listen to me, girly. Because I'm the captain and we can whoop those out. I can whoop those 3 asses by myself. So if you just listen to me, stand there, look pretty, then you'll all be alright. But if you put 1 foot out of line, you're going to catch this work. And Sonya just there nodding along like, yeah, you will, yeah. The match gets a 63, which I guess is okay, considering every single person in this match is bad, except for Bianca and Sonya. Bianca, Sonya, and Kelsey get the win. They defeat, it says Team NXT, but Toxic Attraction. When Bianca pins Gigi with a KOD because Anna Jay's at ringside cheering on her friend from Team NXT. And that distracts Gigi. KOD from Bianca. 1, 2, 3. 26 for Kelsey Cook, 73 for Sonya, 71 for Bianca, 46 for Mandy, 51 for Gigi, and a 36 for JC. And then after the match, Bianca and Sonya are celebrating when Kelsey and Anna get in the ring. They raise their hands. They're like, yeah, you did good. Every woman for herself, though, with the pay-per-view in it. They're on different teams. Then Grace comes out. And she's like, come on, girls. You had a nice win, Kelsey. It's nice to see you getting momentum heading into the Survivor Series, but don't want to spend any more time with the enemy because we're Team NXT and we've got to stick together. In fact, Mandy and Gigi, you've got to come with us because we've got to devise a strategy. Now you've got that all out of your system. You should devise a strategy to beat these two. Bianca's like, girl, get your fucking ass in here. I'll beat your ass right now. Bianca's just always up for a scrap. I don't know why. That's just how I always cut her promos. And Grace is like, nah, we'll save it for Survivor Series, hon. And then they back away, and then Sonya and Bianca sort of just stand there looking when there's jeers from the crowd because somebody's entered the ring. She turns around, boom, big boot from Charlotte Flair, big boot to Sonya. They're both down. She said, what, do you want to fight me? I am here, woo. Don't you overlook us. We are going to beat your ass, woo. I am the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and I am going to beat your ass by myself, woo. I am the true captain of Team Raw, not Rhea Ripley. Not Rhea Ripley. Me, woo. Charlotte Flair, the queen, woo. More 24/7 Ireland shenanigans. We get a brief reintroduction to this little feud. Death from Above with Cynthia. The first time she's actually been on screen all month with them. And they're running away when R-Truth gets in the way. He's like, oh, give me my baby back. And they try to run away the other way. And Dexter Lumis has stood there. Brief little callback to where they had that brief tag feud. R-Truth rolls up Metal Leak, wins the 24/7 title, gets his baby back. He's like, thanks again, dog. And Dexter gives the thumbs up. But R-Truth is currently the champion on 24/7 Island. Da-da-da-da. Hear ye, hear ye. It's time for the royal declaration of the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, ahead of her huge triple threat match in 9 days' time against Emma and Becky Lynch. And Sasha comes out and is like, well, last week sure was something. You see, me and Becky, we somehow, my greatness led us to victory. I was the one who submitted Persia in that tag team match because I proved that I am the best woman in this company. And I'll get to prove that again next Sunday when I beat Becky and Emma in a triple threat match and earn SmackDown a draft pick, I guess. Who cares? As long as I'm on SmackDown, that's all that matters. And whatever the grand prize is, if it's a big stack of cash or something like that, then I'll be interested. But I don't need anything else apart from this and my money. And that takes us to last week. We should have two members on Team SmackDown. We should have Indy and Mickey on SmackDown's women's team, but they both lost. Because I guess they're not as good as me. I guess being under my guidance helps them get better. And you see Mickey sort of like, bitch, I'm a 6-time women's champion. And then Tegan Nox's music hits, and her and Kylie Ray come out, and she's like, well, Sasha, you should have shown your true colours, huh? And she's like, excuse me? She's like, well, you said last week I brought to your attention that I pinned you thanks to Mickey's refereeing, your whole refereeing scheme ahead of Cyber Sunday. And I said any reasonable and fair champion and respectable champion would have given me a shot because I beat you. And so I was like, well, you don't fucking deserve it. You wouldn't have beaten me fair and square, Tegan. You only beat me because we wanted to make us look weak so that we could win the vote. And then Tegan's like, well, yeah, you want to try and rig the vote in your favour because you didn't think you had what it takes to beat Candice one-on-one. And Sasha's like, no, it's because Candice was trying to rig it in her favour by getting her fucking husband to be the referee. And Tegan's like, well, I was just going to sit back and, what's the main event tonight? Roman Reigns is defending the WWE Championship against Big E, who was my partner and my friend during the Mixed Match Challenge. An opportunity for the WWE Championship that he earned by winning the Mixed Match Challenge, because the winners of the Mixed Match Challenge got a WWE Championship opportunity and a Raw or SmackDown Championship opportunity of their choosing. And that means I also have one, Sasha. And you can't run away from it because I want to face you. And what a better place than to do it right here. It's the fucking Excel Center again. This is the home of WWE now, I guess. Then right here in the XL Center. And Sasha's like, no. First of all, I'm out here, fancy dress heels, like a true royalty. I'm not ready to compete. You can jog on back to the back. Slap Sasha around the face. You're like, what about now, Sasha? Tries to provoke her into a match. Eventually, Sasha accepts. He's like, I could beat you even dressed like this. Because, unlike Mickey and Indy, I'm a winner. And I don't plan on losing to you. And obviously Mickey and Indy just shake their heads like, ugh. We get a SmackDown Women's Championship match, impromptu, Queen Sasha and Tegan Nox. That gets a 76, which is fine for the finish. Sasha wins by disqualification when Mickie James attacks her. It's a whole thing. Sasha sort of at ringside shouting at Mickie, going, come on, you know what to do. Do your work, do your job, old woman. Shoves her to the floor, gets back in the ring, and then Mickie gets into the ring and she drops Sasha with a chick kick. The Mick kick, and then gets the disqualification win. And then everyone's like, oh my god, Mickie just kicked Sasha. And Mickie sort of stares down at Sasha. And she cracks a smile. Sasha cracks a smile, because Sasha wins by DQ, and she gets to keep her title, and Tegan doesn't get the title match. Well, she does, but she just blew it, because Sasha won by DQ. And Sasha gets to have the hug. She's like, yes, that's why I employ you, hon. Now, go cry, Tegan. Haha, I'm going to Survivor Series. I'm still the champion. The boss, and all that. And it's a whole boo, fuck this woman thing. 89 for Sasha, 68 for Tegan. RJ's chilling again. He's like, yeah, I can't believe I'm in the SmackDown office. There's Adam Pearce's NWA Championship that he's got framed in a glass case back here. Maybe I should steal it and pose with it. And he takes... Because this is something that's not even been mentioned ever before, but like it would have always been there. Pearce has got like a replica of the NWA title in a glass case, because it reminds him of when he was a wrestler. So RJC takes it out, he puts it on his shoulder, and then he's like smiling, and he turns around and stares at the door, and suddenly his face changes to a face of embarrassment. Then it pans across, I say he's been seen by AJ Styles, who sort of looks at him in disgust. He's like, what are you doing? And he quickly puts the belt back. He's like, how can I help you, AJ? And he hands on hips, all professional. He's like, where's Pierce? And he's like, he's gonna go sort some stuff out for next week. He's inviting William Regal and Eve to SmackDown along with the rest of the NXT and Raw rosters. And he's like, that's good. That's actually why I wanted to speak to you. Because Omos, he shot up Bronson Reed on Raw 2 weeks ago. And I don't know what those grizzled veterans are doing, but I need a match. And I want to face Ricochet one-on-one. And RJ's like, well, we can sign that up for next week. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. And he's like, you better. He's like, yeah, well, now if you excuse me, I've got important business to attend to. Then AJ sort of just glances off to the side, looks at the NWA title, and he's like, you call that important? And he leaves. And RJ's just there, egg on his face. He's like, god damn it. 75? How the fuck has this got a 75? Dakota takes up the final spot on Team SmackDown's women's team. She defeats Kylie Ray with a scorpion kick in 5:31. 70 for Dakota, 58 for Kylie Ray. And that cements Team SmackDown's women's team as Captain Bianca Belair, Sonya Deville, Bayley, Candice LeRae, and now Dakota. And they'll face Rhea Ripley, the captain of Team Raw, with Charlotte, Io, Kyrie, and Asuka, and then Grace Parker, Kelsey Cook, Anna Jay, Mandy Rose, and Gigi Dolan. 24/7 Ireland stuff. Truth running away. Boa stops him. He stands in front of me. He's like, ha ha. You will not pass. You'll give that title to me. The Hollywood megastar Boa. And Boa takes the 24/7 title. If you can't tell, I'm starting to run out of stuff for this. 68 rated promo. This isn't a feud that will be based around its promos. It'll actually be based in the ring. Cesaro is talking to Kayla, who's not on screen. He's like, well, I've got my eyes focused on Team Raw and Team NXT at Survivor Series, but I can't help but have Andrade. He's nagging in my ear, calling me a loser, saying I don't deserve to be in this match because I beat Elias and not him. But I'll happily beat him. I could have beaten him one-on-one if we were facing off for the spot. And Zelina's like, well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is then, ho? And he's like, what? He's like, how about next week? If you're so confident you're better than Andrade, why don't you put your title, your spot on Team SmackDown on the line against Andrade 1-on-1 next week? Cesaro takes his sunglasses off. He's like, you're on. He's got a cup of coffee in his hand. He sips it and he walks off. So Cesaro and Andrade 1-on-1 next. This could be our first 100 rated match. We shall see. Randy Orton cuts a promo because last week he qualified for Team SmackDown when he was suddenly attacked from behind after the match by Braun Breaker. And he's like, good job, kid. You need to make a name for yourself, so you attacked Mr. Survivor Series. Well, get your ass out here now, and I'll play the role of Kurt Angle, you can play the role of John Cena, and we'll see what you're really made of, see if you've got all that ruthless aggression in you. Then Breaker does come out, and it's like, I've got more than just ruthless aggression, Randy. I'm Braun Breaker, and I'm gonna smack your face in. Big smack around the face. And then we get the match. Randy and Braun Breaker gets a 74, goes 10 minutes. They've got great chemistry, so I'll remember that in future when they're main eventing Mania against each other. But Randy Orton sneaks out the win in 10 minutes 14 with an RKO. 50 for Braun, 86 for Randy. A nice showcase for one of the future top guys here. And Randy Orton picks up the win to advance. Well, not to advance anywhere, just a showcase match. Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. Because he attacked Randy last week. That's all it was. And we move. When Randy celebrates again, and he's dropped again, this time not by a member of Team NXT. The crowd erupts as Orton strikes his pose on the top rope. He gets down, turns around, bang, Claymore out of nowhere. Andrew's like, did you forget about me, Randy? Our team, ha! And leaves Randy Orton laying. And then they'd announce that on Raw, we'll have a Captain's Triple Threat match for the men. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Tommaso Ciampa. And then on next week's SmackDown, we'll have a Captain's match for the women, which will be Rhea Ripley, Grace Parker, and Bianca Belair. Truth gets the title back. Again, I don't know exactly what happens, but it's our Truth. He probably make it funny. I have good stuff planned for the pay-per-view with this, but it's just going to be, I guess, whatever I can concoct from my brain over the next two shows, because I know who has to take the belt into Survivor Series and what to do from that pay-per-view, but it's fine. R-Truth is the 24/7 champion. The Rock. We go through another one of his top moments of his career. And then as soon as the Rock video fades, we fade into the main event. Bro, a 96. Let's go. Why is SmackDown so much better than Raw? This would have got like an 81 on Raw. In an exceptional match, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, head of the table yet again, slays opposition. He defeats Big E in 11:33 of a spear to make defense number 3 of the WWE title. 84 for E, 92 for Roman. This match got the crowd buzzing. And it's just Roman. Well, Heyman would be there, but there's no Jimmy, no Jacob. And Roman hoists the WWE title up in the air when Finn Balor's music hits. And Finn Balor comes out, no Ridge Holland, no Escobar, no Scott. Just Finn Balor. And he walks in the ring and he again hoists the world title up in the air. The scene we've seen about 5 times already in the build of the pay-per-view. They both got their belts up in the air. Then the music of Ronnie Hughes hits. And he's like, really? This again? Why don't you just get a room, you two? Like, what is this? I come out here, I raise my title. No, I raise my title. Where's the commotion? Where's the hype? And I know you're not going to listen to a rookie like me, but from where I'm seeing, there needs to be less of this and more fighting. And he gets into the ring between the two, and they have to sort of look at him. And he's like, really? Still nothing? He puts his belt on the floor, he's like, don't mind if I do. He takes the first swing, he swings at Finn Balor. Bang! Drops Finn Balor on the floor. And then Roman then tries to take the fight to Ronnie, and they brawl at it for a bit. Balor gets up, he drop kicks Ronnie Hughes, goes for the 1916, but Ronnie powers him up, hoists him onto his shoulders for like a, I guess, jackhammer or something. I don't know what Ronnie's finisher is. And then bang, drops in with a jackhammer, I guess, from the 1916 position. And then Roman Reigns, bang, Superman punch, drops Ronnie Hughes, and he locks Ronnie in the guillotine, and Ronnie passes out, and the Tribal Chief stands tall. He sort of looks down. He's got the World Heavyweight Championship on the floor to his right, the NXT title on the floor to his left. Sort of just looks down at them both, and then hoists the WWE title up high to end the show. The show gets us a 90. We raised popularity in 6 regions, because the main event for some reason decided it was going to fucking bang. But next week's looking stacked as well. We've got the final triple threat match. I think it's Baron Corbin, Jimmy Uso, and Big E to determine the final member of Team SmackDown. We've got the champion triple threat match for the women. And we've got Ricochet and AJ Styles. Among other things, every single person from Raw, NXT, and SmackDown will be in the building to build up the Go Home Show for Survivor Series. But before then, we've got the Go Home Show from Raw, which will be the next episode. See you then.